So 10 years ago, I'm finding myself in my first seminary class. And I didn't know what to expect. Again, ministry was never something I'd really sought after. It was God's plan, not mine. And I'm sitting in this class and I'm hearing some things that are very disturbing to me. And one of the things that stuck with me from the very first time that I heard it was this statistic. 7,000 churches were closing every single year. Now that was 10 years ago. And then when I decided that I wanted to do something about that, that was probably 2 years ago. And what I mean by that is I decided that God had called me to plant a church. He's called me to be a starter in my life, and so this was just one more thing He was going to call me to start. A brand new church. I didn't know what that looked like. I just knew that's what He wanted me to do. Fast forward about 8 years, and I found myself in a position where I felt God had prepared me and called me to plant a new church. And so I went back and I wanted to look at those statistics and see where they were in that time frame. And at that point, it had gotten a little bit better. It had gone from 7,000 closing every year to 5,000 closing every year. Well, now we find ourselves in 2016. And as we're preparing to plant this new church called Trace, I wanted to go back and see what was going on in our nation. And I go back and I find that right now 3,000 churches are closing in America every year. And that may still sound staggering and depressing to some extent. But the next statistic that I read was very encouraging. Even though 3,000 churches are closing every year in our country, right now 4,000 churches are being planted. Friends, the biggest movement happening in our country right now is through church planting. Church planting is redefining the way that the church will approach our culture and this next generation. And so my invitation to you is come and be a part of it. Come and be a part of this movement and partner with us to help not just plant one church, but many churches into the future. The churches that very well could be the churches that impact your kids or your grandkids. Come join us.